G'day trendsetters, in today's incredibly riveting episode we are going to be planting these cabbage into that garden bed. And in case you're wondering why they're in this pot and why I was going to say so many, but there's not a lot. This is what happens when you put a packet of seeds through the wash cycle on the washing machine. Packet of seed come out, it was full of water, all the seeds were wet, so I had to find something to do with them, and I plonked them in here to see what would happen. I wasn't sure if they would germinate because dopey water and all that sort of stuff, who knows, but they're good as gold. Now the second part of this story is this garden bed here is a brand new bed, and I'd started preparing it for some bare rooted roses that should be here any day now. But I'm going to have to put those into a pot now because I really want to get, this is the mini cabbage seed that I got from Happy Valley Seeds. So I've got nowhere else to plant them. I've only got this little patch here, so I thought I'll bung them in here. I'll put the bare rooted roses into pots for now, and then when the cabbage are finished, the roses will go in. But there'll be more about the roses in a future video. Now, it's really not all that complicated. Only a few things I need to try and get right, which is when I lift the little seedling out of the ground, I don't want to brush the soil off around the root system. I want to try and maintain as much soil as I can around the root system. If it does happen to all fall off, the main thing is don't leave it out in the air too long, get it in the ground as quickly as possible, because there's super fine little microscopic hairs on the roots that we can see, and they dry out very rapidly, and while they won't kill the plant by dying off, they will slow down the recovery time, or transplant shock is more of the technical term. So that's about the only thing I need to be fairly concerned about. And I think this might be a bit big, so I'll get something a bit smaller and I'll move the camera around, get a better shot. Alrighty, I just got this little, I think they're actually a bulb planting trowel, but it's a little skinny trowel. And I want to go straight down around the outside and lift and that's what I'm looking for, and I'll bung that straight in the ground. When I'm putting these in the ground, you can see where the old ground level used to be. These are what they call the seed leaves, and that's about where the new plant starts. But I can plant this, I'll pinch these off. I can plant this just to above where those seed leaves were. And we do that because cabbage will develop a root system all the way up and down where it's in contact with the soil. And also, by planting them deep like this, like when it's windy, it'll stop the wind rock and the roots getting loose in the soil and give you a more stable plant. The only thing I haven't mentioned so far is the preparation of the soil here. As I said, I was preparing this to plant bare-rooted roses. So it's about 1.5 meters long by about 1.5 meters wide. And I added 3 bags of purchased composted cow manure. That's mainly for soil conditioning. There's not a lot of nutrient value in that for plants, but it's great for if you've got a sandy soil or a loamy soil. It's great for pulling it together and helping it to improve moisture retention mainly. If you've got a heavier soil, a clayey soil, it will actually break it up and open it up and allow water to penetrate more easily or improve drainage. The other thing I did was a couple of buckets of compost, just fluff that through the top of the soil, and a generous dose of the pelletized composted chicken manure. I used Dynamic from Nutrog in my case, but wherever you are in the world, just a good quality pelletized composted chicken manure will do great. These guys will love it. So I've got 2 in. I'll just keep going and fit as many as I can in. Whatever I've got left, I'll take to the work garden and they can have what's left. And when these little cabbages are finished, I'll go and I'll plonk my roses in. We'll fit 3 rows in here, and they'll be about 300 millimeters or 12 inches apart. Now, that's probably a little bit close, and that generally will affect the size of the cabbage that you get, which in my case, I don't mind because there's only 2 of us, so I don't want a huge cabbage. Normally about 45 centimeters or 18 inches would be ideal, but I'll get 3 rows. I'll alternate, so as they're not like little soldiers. I'll go 1 here, 1 there, 1 there, so it'll be a diagonal or alternate row of 3 rows. Can you hear that bird? Those guys go all winter, they're fantastic. All right, I'll keep going and get these planted. Also, last but not least, and as soon as possible, if not immediately after you're doing your transplanting, you want to water your seedlings in. I've got a new product here from Seasol, which is Seasol Gold. So it says here, Seasol Gold contains unique ingredients designed to strengthen plant health, promoting strong, vigorous growth, giving plants better resistance to heat, drought, frost, pests, and disease. Seasol Gold is boosted with calcium, which can provide an extra boost in the growing season, enhancing nutrient uptake and stimulating flower and fruiting. I'm in 2 minds with Seasol. I think half of it's really good marketing. The other half is, I don't know, just put it on, hope for the best. But anyhow, I do use it. It hasn't killed anything yet, so. Seasol Gold. And give them a really good, thorough drink, soak. Don't just wet the top of the soil. Make sure the water really gets down into that root zone, because they're not going to be like, they're not going to like being torn up out of the pot that I just had them in and planted into the soil. But I think all will go well. Thanks for watching. I know this was a truly riveting episode, but I couldn't contain myself. I had to get these cabbages into the ground and get them growing. Thanks to Happy Valley Seeds. These, obviously they don't mind going through the wash, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers and thanks for watching. Bye for now. I was preparing this to plant bare-rooted roses. As I said, I was preparing this to plant bare-rooted roses.